Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That is me, the Babbler. That is me on this evolutionary, revolutionary rise, 7 up rise at this time. And so I'm doing something new, guys. So I already laid out a bunch of. Oh, I can't even show it this way. I laid out a bunch of cards already. Say hi to the cards that came. I started out with the true love reading cards, and these were the cards that I got. And then I was like, you know what? Let me continue. The reason why was because both the divine masculine and the divine feminine cards showed up in this reading. So it clearly alerted me to the story that's developing here. So I'm going to go along with that. So what I see just here is a resolving of conflicts between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy, both showing up strong here. And then I kind of want to look at it abstractly as they were being placed down here. So you have, for the divine feminine in her star energy power, which is connected to her own sexuality, okay, the sacred woman, okay, in this world, reinventing herself, but not really reinventing. I feel like it's more of a getting to know oneself, to know oneself to be true. The serpent of fire, the wings of Isis, the divine guardian, the feminine, the divine feminine energy that makes you feel that sacred woman within. For so long, due to our own conditioning and just, generations of, oppression, suppression, there was a loss between the divine feminine, and her spark, her wholeness, her place in the world. But, right now you have a lot of healing taking place. All right, so and then you have the divine masculine. I have it right here, kind of like still in a hanged man kind of state, but there is progression and there is a process happening here, okay, between options of passions one has, and there's a level of just honesty that is happening here, especially with the divine masculine, the healing the divine masculine. Okay, so again, we can look at this as gender if we want to relate it in that kind of way for ourselves. But again, we all each have the divine masculine and divine feminine energies existing inside of us. Whichever one we're leaning towards at this precise moment in time is the one that's put in the healing chamber. Okay, the divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now. Okay, growing strong in the ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. And I think that's kind of like what's happening now too, with the divine masculine purging. I don't want to use ego because I hate that word. I hate the way that it has been twisted and made to be seen as some kind of enemy of some sort, when it's not. It's it's just a labeling system that has been identified, labeled, that has certain kind of characteristics that play out. But yeah, it's a part of who we are. But I think what's really happening here is during this kind of courtship. So it's a divine courtship that's taking place between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy that's kind of hung in suspense right now, because the divine masculine is sorting through his passions at the moment. That ability to be vulnerable, that ability to express, that ability to enter the chamber of healing. A spiritual gift of healing is coming to you now. Be open without expectation or preconceived notions, and allow the healing energy to help you find the best solution for any situation that does not appear to be as it should be. Expect your miracle. So here we are. Then I have here like the Sacred Woman card, and I kind of wanted to read that. I don't know why, but like here we are. So we have the Sacred Woman. All right, so there is wild power and sacred divinity that must be respected by both women and men. The Native American Indian legend of White Buffalo Calf Woman is closely connected to the concept of the divine feminine. Although it is more extreme than real life, her story does send an important message. In the legend, White Buffalo Calf Woman annihilates a man who thinks he can simply embrace her and claim her like a piece of property. Okay, the man who senses her divinity and wild power is spared the same fate because she can see that even though he holds his bow and arrow up to her in fear, he respects her power. On returning to his tribe, the surviving warrior does as she requested and organizes a feast to celebrate her impending arrival. In return, she teaches the tribe sacred rituals and bestows important forms of abundance upon them. White Buffalo Calf Woman brings an important reminder to us today about the potentially destructive forces that are available when the feminine is treated as trivial. In modern life, this applies to both men and women, meaning that women must be prepared to value themselves and act upon this if they want to be respected by their male counterparts. White Buffalo Calf Woman did not play games, make idle threats, or pretend to be something she was not. She did not compromise herself or her integrity for mere physical security or a life that was less than fulfilling. And by annihilating the disrespectful warrior, she made it clear to all others that her power was not to be doubted. In modern life, this is played out in a way a woman treats herself and allows herself to be treated. When a woman truly respects herself and acts upon her feelings, men will naturally respect her or leave her alone. When you call White Buffalo Calf Woman into your life, she will help you do away with self-sabotaging behavior and help you to have the courage to do what you know you need to do, which is, kind of like what's happening here. And this can apply for the divine masculine as well, tapping into his divine feminine energy. And remember, if I speak he, she, it's just my conditioning. It's not gender specific, but tapping into that sense of security to be able to be in one's own place, stance, courageously, boldly, freely, and be okay in that space, to be respected in that space, okay, to hold that space, to hold that ground, and to know that you have that self-respect, that sense of self-value and awareness for yourself that you wouldn't expect or allow for anything outside of you, especially from the divine masculine energy, to come in and try to knock you down while they lay suspended because they're still working or processing or progressing in their evolutionary state, but still not where the divine feminine energy is now in her stance, in her power. This energy here is hanging here, trying to still figure out this courtship process by one, probably like owning one's own feelings, two, or identifying the passions, the pursuits, the choices, the options that one must consider, especially in terms of the realms of the heart or even the career sector and the conditioned idea that one can't have both. One must choose, and stuff like that. So look, I speak my truth and encourage others to speak theirs. Okay, so there's a level of expectation on the divine feminine part. Okay, do not assess your current ability based on past standards as they no longer apply to you. You are stronger and more powerful now than you have been before. You need to learn afresh what you are capable of, and Isis helps you with this now. Okay, Wings of Isis. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. This oracle also brings you angelic assistance, intervention, and confirmation too. Okay, so here we have in the distance horizons. Okay, so you have something that's coming into, I hear, okay, so you're going to take what this as you made, some kind of recognition or some kind of new being born, birthed into existence into here. Okay, talismans of potency. Sacred tools and objects can become an extension of your energy field, focusing your power and your intention, helping you heal the split between spirit and matter, bringing physical matter more deeply into light and life. You are encouraged to work with sacred materials in a conscious way to help your own healing and enjoyment of the material world as a part of your spiritual practice. It's something that you have been working on is coming out into the world, something being made public, whether this is a new project, business, venture, partnership, some kind of recognition, some kind of accolade, some kind of something is being birthed, born into the new. Okay, also tapping into your divine femininity too. This can also be self-pleasure, okay? And like, it's not to be like, you know, in any kind of way, like, you know, ooh, we can't do this kind of things. Tapping in, loving yourself, self-loving yourself, masturbation, you know, here, tapping into that level of openness with yourself to be able to just be so free, to be sacred, to tap into that feminine wild energy existing inside of yourself. Wish fulfillment is here, especially in terms of the courtship process, the divine masculine, divine feminine energies, okay, that are existing here. I gratefully accept the abundance the earth bestows onto me too. Okay, you're an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and animals. Being out in nature. And you see, when I get environmentalist, I also get energy specialist. Okay, so you are part of the production of species that are transmuting a lot of different energies that no longer align or work with this paradigm shift that is happening at this time. So it's time for you to decide, okay, make a decision based on your heart's truest desire. So if you're still hanging here in this hangman state, it's time for you to decide without any kind of debate, what do you want? Okay, here we go. And then we have, I acknowledge my inner child and open my heart to the joy that she brings, being more open to a lot of more things. In terms of, you have orange dragon energy, okay, spreading belonging, warmth, and oneness, bringing people everywhere together. So here we go. And then also one other message that's showing up here is unexpected income, my dear. Wishes being made clear. Okay, have this level of expectancy. Expect, know. Okay, speak your truth and continue to glow. You have more options than you know. Here in the distant horizons, there is some kind of something coming into existence that's going to remove you from this hangman state of existence. There is a leveling of balance that is happening here on this earthly energetic plane that's healing the divine masculine in every kind of way. Okay, you are protected. Okay, protected, and you are being granted that you are being told that you are being helped around many obstacles. Christ light and love are flowing. Develop your own psychic abilities and continue to go with the flow. Okay, getting into this know, for there are certain things that are coming into existence. It's time for you to decide. All right, healing the divine, tapping in, going into some sacred I love me time, being open to the possibility of even just pleasuring oneself by doing the things that you love. It doesn't have to be in just a sexual kind of way, although masturbation can go a very long way. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about advocating all just the pleasures of the sexuality of life. It's about getting into your align, your right. You know, talisman of potency. There may also be a birth, a pregnancy, you know, some kind of anointing. I hear anointing. Some kind of anointing that is most sacred and fertile, that will grow and glow. Okay? And that is the message that I have here at this time from all these cards that I did pull. I hope that you like this message. I hope that you take something with it. This is just a divine energetic update in regards to the energies that are playing here. So you have a divine feminine energy that is aligning in her power, that is aligned in her power, that she's glowing, growing more, and solidifying her power, and even maybe turning down certain kind of things because she knows she deserves better in this kind of thing. Remember, let go of he or she. It's just part of my conditioning. It's not gender specific, it's energy. All right, so you get the divine masculine coming to a space, a place, a mirrored space that is just like, okay, let me see these passions that I have. Let me be honest with myself at this time. Let me see where I'm going to go and where I choose to go on this ride of a rise at this time. Being mindful of the energy that I have and that I influence all around me as an environmentalist, okay, as an alchemist. So also, you heal with your class sessions and seminars. That was for me. Okay, entering this healing chamber of transformation. I journey within to meet my higher self and find my true happiness. We're going to end that right here. Okay, so thank you, my dears. Till we speak again, namaste.